Welcome. This is Naruto. Shippuden Naruto versus Sasuke, with most importantly, actually, is the fanfiction being read. Right now.
Really? I thought the gameplay was way more important than that.
Obviously by the JPEG and the really generic music that looped just now, obviously.
Of course.
Great. Alright.
Well, man, let's get into the fanfiction, because it is called Kamen Rider Avalon by Fox Sky Harem Emperor 2015.
This is French.
Okay, good. It is a Naruto and Percy Jackson crossover, and the description, of course, is summary inside Naruto harem. So, you know, I have a feeling this is going to be a great fanfiction. So let's get started with chapter 1. It's called I'm Going to Hell. So, yeah, well, let's start with the author's note, just so, you know, we have a good grounding on what's going to happen in this amazing story. So this is a crossover. I got the Percy Jackson book series, and I read 2 chapters of The Crimson Archer. Wish there was more. Anyway, in this world, Shiro Emiya and his harem was sent back in time. Thanks to the Grail back in 1969,
What?
where he found his family birth.
Is this taking place in the
Uzumaki.
real world? What?
I don't know. They just throw a bunch of shit out.
What's his name?
Okay, well, anyways, he found his family birth, Uzumaki, and helped his timeline's version, Kiritsugu and Iris, destroy the Grail. But due to the distortion of the Grail exploring, history replied itself. In this time, both Iris and Kiritsugu found the young Shiro. However, this is not that Shiro's or the old Shiro's story. It is the grandson, the son of Kushina Uzumaki Nimikaze and Minato Nimikaze Naruto Uzumaki Nizukame, and the pseudo-demigod of Artemis. Also, this is an AU world, so some think will be different.
Oh, some things. Okay, well, good to
Oh
know.
yeah, okay. Well, I'm glad we're all on the same page. We perfectly understand the premise of this story, because any of that made any sense.
Did they explain the long names? Did they explain, you know,
No.
Is it set in our timeline? Like, with the years, I would assume?
Well, it does take place in, I guess, 1969.
Nice.
Oh, it does take place in our world. It just has the Greek gods of Naruto in it. Also, I want to point out that Chapter 1, it's titled I'm Going to Hell, but in the chapter itself, the chapter is called A Tisket, a Tasket, and a Baby in an Airplane Accident.
That rhymes. I could tell.
So, yeah, anyway, so let's start with the actual story, because I just can't wait, man. In the forest of Colorado Rockies Mountain, there was a trail of destruction that led to a destroyed plane. Inside it was a beautiful around a 19. She had auburn red hair and silver eyes. She's wearing a silver armor piece. She was hoping to find survivors, even if some of the said survivors are male. She then saw a pale-skinned man of Orient origin wearing a black yukata and hakama in his
Is it
hands.
confirmed that Naruto is Asian?
I guess so. Well, in his hands is a black book. And let's point out also the fact that that is all one sentence, and there's only one comma in that whole thing. So, this was not done by the fates, so I can yell at them, for this is a baby boy. If you save him, you save me a ton of paperwork.
What?
The man said, I don't know, I really don't know, man. Said as he was looking at a pale-skinned couple, a mother and father, that were protecting a baby that was breathing slowly, that had blood coming out of his mouth. The baby has tufts of red hair. Okay, this person has a real punctuation problem, because
Yeah,
they'll just
what's up?
string words and ideas together without anything.
That sounds like the story.
Yeah. Is it just the infant? Artemis asked. Him and the captain who was impaled by a tree, the man said. He was now holding 2 clocks. One was a pocket watch, the other was a baby clock. I had stopped their death clocks thanks to you, Artemis, the goddess of childbirth. What should I do with the baby? Should I give him to you or save, or should I leave him here in limbo? Comma. Who are you? Asked Artemis. Who are you? Asked Artemis. She remembered this feeling before during the last war. She remembered seeing a couple of headless people holding their heads. This maid felt the same. I'm a Shinigami in English. It means death of God, but my name is Azure. However, this boy is special. He well can't say, but save him, he might tell you one day, said Azure.
What?
I'll take care of him, but when he turns 11, Artemis said. But it might help you with your brother getting off your back to give him a nephew, Azure said, giving him a look from the goddess of the hunt. Wait, okay. Wait, okay, whatever. Apollo talk a lot with Lady Amaterasu and hit on her funny thing she's the sun goddess of Japan.
That is pretty funny.
So her burning his ass with a mini-sun was irony at its best, seeing him get burned. Smiled Azure.
This person's trying to go for the anime jokes of guy hits on girl beats them up, funny joke.
Yeah, that is a funny
joke. But it's really badly written as well.
Well, I'm having this small feeling that this person doesn't speak English as their native language.
Well,
I'm
my
getting
game
a small
doesn't
feeling
either, so, you know.
I guess it's fitting. Anyways, smiling Artemis took out one of her hunting knives and cut her thumb and placed it in the baby's mouth. What is his name?
Cut off her thumb, or just cut? Okay, I'm gonna say.
I think she just cut her thumb. What is his name? Namikaze Uzumaki Pandragon Naruto. Naruto is his given name. Just hope none of your daughters don't fall in love with the boy. I guess he's a lover boy. You know what I'm talking about.
That is terrible. I should feel bad for this line. I hope that God darn it, man. You know what it's foreshadowing, dude. You know what type of story this is going to be.
Well, they did say it was a Naruto harem, so we kinda, yeah. Anyways, baby Naruto then started to look lively. He was then picked up by the moon goddess. And what would you have really done if I didn't blood adopt the child? Artemis asked the death god.
What does blood adopt the child? Does that mean they just become blood related?
I guess because she cut her thumb or something. I don't know.
Sounds edgy.
Just like you are the goddess of childbirth, in a way you are a life goddess. There is a goddess that has domain over life and death. Her name is Izanami no Mikoto. Plus her son is the Japan moon god Tsukiyomi, Amaterasu's brother. The youngest member, fucking hell, this is so badly written. Plus her son is the Japan moon god Tsukiyomi, Amaterasu's older brother. The youngest member is who is the boy's ancestor.
Wow. You know.
So he a legacy of one of the Shinto gods, Artemis said. Yeah, I should get going, and so do you. Azure said, changing into an injured man in his 20s. Also, I'm now that boy's Shinigami. He won't die unless I say so. He said as he walked. Yeah, that is really convenient. He said as he walked out of the plane with a limp.
Why is he limping?
What is that line? Oh, because he's pretending to be an injured man.
Oh,
from the plane crash. Yeah.
Anyway, we go to our gameplay. By the way, you just jump and push the attack button.
Well, it's good to know that your game's going great. Anyways, let's skip to Artemis's camp. A dark-skinned 14-year-old with long black hair and lavender eyes wearing winter gear. My lady, is thou alright? Said the girl. Wait, what?
Yeah,
I guess it. Okay, I thought, yeah. Is thou alright? Said the girl. She looked at what Artemis was holding, baby Naruto, as well as his belonging. Thus, thou have a baby male. Yes, Zoe. He was the only one I could save. He was the only one. He is the only one I could have to save. Zoe Nightshade meet Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze Pendragon, my adopted son and pseudo demigod.
So is he like is this based off of like an Arthur story with the Pendragon thing? Like is this Merlin and like Arthur gonna be in this story?
I don't know, because other than that, it just has nothing to do with, like, Arthurian legend. It's like Greek mythology and Japan gods. It has nothing to do with, like, that. I don't know. We must now pack up and move in case some men come looking for any of the survivors, Artemis said. Zoe, hold Naruto while I tell everyone the news. Yes, my lady, Zoe said. As she holds and looked at baby Naruto, she felt something as Naruto looked at her and he raised his little... He raised his little arms to pat her cheek. Hope thou be better than the rest of thy males in the world, Zoe said. Well, anyways, 13 years later in Washington, D.C.
Like
in December.
In Washington,
oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, Washington, D.C. Perseus Jackson stared in shock as well as his friends. Yeah, of course, man. As his friend, a horse-sized nine-tailed fox was in a fight with Dr. Thorne, a manticore who was just pushed back by a burned orange fox with 9 tails as well as 2 long ears, its red eyes filled with anger at the monster. What are you doing here, Fox said to Messian? The enraged Dr. Thorne asked. Only thing that came out was a dark laugh. Hee hee hee, ha ha ha.
Oh, you think I'm a laugh, man. Good job.
Oh my fucking god, here we go. You think I'm that nice piece of ass? Please. Please, I'm Kurama, king of all yokai, one of the rulers of hell, a lord of all foxes, plus male. Also, Moroder, you're up, Karuma said, as a person came flying in, kicked the monster, sighed, and knocking him further back. The person's armor is silver armor with red marking and cloth. The helmet has 2. The armored knight weapon is a red Celtic broadsword. And just when I thought I got used to the whole Greek thing is real, said Percy as he watches the armor knight's sword transformed into a lightning sword only for Dr. Thorne to dodge. Inwardly, he thanked all the gods for the interference. Honestly,
what
he just
look like. Well, I guess that doesn't. Whatever.
Honestly, he had just wanted to get to Camp Half-Blood and have a nice, peaceful time just once. But no, Grover Underwood, his best friend, just had to run into trouble. Not that it was the satyr's fault, but come on. Was it too much to ask for a break from monsters? Apparently so. Whiskers taking the shot, Mordred shouted as out of nowhere a couple of...
So this is an Arthur thing.
Yeah, I guess so. As out of nowhere, a couple of arrows shot one of them, looked like a sword. Hey, who's there? Said the confused knight. The hidden monster hissed in pain as he pulled the arrows out. He looked at his friend Annabeth Chase when she sighed in relief. The hunters, to his right wielding a spear and dressed like a punk. The spiky, shoulder-length black hair and electric blue eyes. Thalia Grace groaned. Oh, wonderful.
So
yeah, I know more... What?
I don't remember much from Percy Jackson, but there could honestly be a character dressed as a punk. That would not surprise me.
Okay, well, anyways. Yeah, I know Mordred stay close and wait for the kid, said Kurama. The son of Poseidon looked to where the arrows had come from, and after taking note of their cloaks and drawn bows, he was shocked when he saw that each of the attackers were girls near his age, some a year or 2 younger. Oh, that one...
Attackers are around your age? So I'm just imagining, like, if they're attackers, immediately that's where you go from there. It's like, you know,
oh, they're younger than me. Yeah.
Well, you know, man, that's when someone's attacking you, the first thing you think of is, can I date them? That's the most anime thing ever.
Of course, man. One in the front with long black hair and a silver circlet around her head draws her bow back further before she spoke. Shall I end it, milady? You cannot do this, Dr.
Sorry, wait, is the hunters attacking Camp Half-Blood?
Yeah, the hunters... Yeah, I guess so.
Also,
I'm kind of confused as to what exactly is going on, but
I kind of wonder, if Mordred killed Arthur, does that mean that, like, Mordred's gonna kill Naruto? Or is, like, Naruto maybe Uther? Because, like, wouldn't...
I don't know. I really don't know. Anyways, so
Why am I Sakura?
one in the front with long black hair and a silver circle around her head draws her bow back further. Before she spoke, oh, okay, sorry, I read this. Glaring at the gathered hunters with hatred, outrage, and fear in his eyes, it's forbidden by the ancient law. You're wrong, said a voice that demanded obedience and power. Dr. Thorne felt like bowing in front of an alpha as a wave of killing intent pressured down on him as he saw the 15-year-old boy wearing a white cloak with a silver moon on the back with 3 tomos in the moon, a black armored tactical vest over a red jacket, a black headband. Yeah, I think so. A black headband with a swirl mark on the forehead that kept his red hair out of his amber eyes that burned like roaring fire. On his was a mask, black pants, and armored black boots. On the back of his right hand is a red Celtic marking of a sword and arrow. The Crimson Archer, said the Manticore in fear. Artemis, goddess of the hunt, as well as the moon and wild beast. Oh, don't worry about your men, I took care of them, Archer said. Zoe, take the shot, please, and thank you. Seeing this man asking so nicely, she smiled. A man with manners, that is the first, Zoe said, aiming at the beast with her arrow. As she let go of her arrow, went through golden dust. Damn, he ran away, Archer said. The next thing he saw was the hunters aiming at him, and his friends had swords and spears pointed at them. Who are you, and how dare you order? Archer then removed his fave mask to show...
Sorry, phase mask?
No, his fave mask.
Like his favorite mask?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Showing a face she or the hunters hasn't seen in years, as well as the 3 from Percy's group. Naruto! Yelled Talia Grace, a 15-year-old girl with punk rock style clothing. I think we already established that. Next to her was tanned, skinned, and a slender, athletic body. Great. She had long, curly, honey blonde hair and gray eyes, wearing a blue jacket, black pants, and boots. The 2 girls had dropped their weapons in shock, seeing an old friend that they thought died years ago, as well as the hunters. Zoe acted first by running up to him, punching on his head, and buried. So you guys know Naruto too, Bianca, D'Angelo said, Naruto popping his head out. Yeah, Bianca, these girls are my lovely older sisters. The redhead goddess is my adopted mother, the goddess Artemis, Naruto said. Master, do you need help with this lavender eye bitch? Saber said, holding a red sword.
So descriptive and so, like, formal with their names. Or at least the authors.
I don't know. Where was I? Saber said, holding a red sword covered in a red electro charge. Who are thou calling a bitch? Zoe said, glaring at the knight. A knight, I thought...
Sorry, I just died at 1 health.
Oh, great. A knight, I thought knight was supposed to be chivalrous towards maids, but I guess I was hoping too much for a male, unlike Naruto. You see about that. The helmet folded into the armor, showing a cute girl with green eyes and wild hair. I'm not a male, nor do I see myself as a woman. I am the son of King... Oh, great. I am the son of King Artoria Pendragon Fucking hell, okay. I am the son of King Artoria Pendragon Mordred Pendragon, the sword to master Naruto Uzumaki Pendragon, and his future bride. What? She said with pride.
What?
I guess she's gonna be his bride.
Mordred's son?
No. I'm not a male, nor do I see myself as a woman. I am the son of King Artoria. She's the son of King Artoria Pendragon Mordred Pendragon, the sword to master Naruto Uzumaki Pendragon and his future bride, she said with pride. Over thou dead body, Zoe yelled, placing her hands on her dangers. Okay. Bring it on, Huntress, Mordred said as the two began to fight. Naruto walked over to his mother, a friend at his time at Westover Hall. Mom, don't take Bianca as a hunter, and I doubt she wants Nico to be turned into a jackalope. Naruto said, getting Bianca to hug her brother close to her. I turned that boy back, the moon goddess said. I need guys friends to hang out with. Now, Bianca, Nico, let's talk and walk, Naruto said. Oh, is Nico the name of the fucking person?
Nico is the son of Hades from the Percy Jackson book.
Oh. Okay. I'm extremely confused at what's supposed to be going on in this story,
I'm
but
very
anyways.
confused too. Yeah, I'm very confused. Like, what time is this taking place again? 1969, or is that 13 years?
This
before?
is 13 years later, so this is 1982.
Which I feel like the books were written after that. I feel like they probably came from 2000s, late 90s at the least. I don't get this at all. I don't get it at all. Like, wouldn't Nico like still be in that hotel, Lotus Hotel, right, guys?
I don't know, man. I don't know anything about Percy Jackson. Anyways. Well, this is the author's note to end the chapter, so... Okay. So last Christmas, I got the first manga book, the Percy Jackson series book set. Sorry, book? I know...
Percy Jackson?
I don't know, this is not true. And sorry, I know the title is bad. I plan to have other anime characters in this, like High School DxD, Ken-ish, as well as Yu Yu Hakusho, and other battles of New York is going to be a slaughterhouse. Well, that's chapter 1. How do you feel about chapter 1? Because I'm very confused.
I'm very confused. Also, this is not how you make boss fights, or mini boss fights, guys. Any boss. I don't know what the trash are doing. They literally spammed, and I do mean spam in the most direct sense possible, the most basic enemy, and that's the mini boss. That you kill in one hit. Like, I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, anyways, how's about we go to chapter 2?
Yeah, chapter 2 should be good. We're 22 minutes in, I think.
Oh, awesome. That doesn't take very long. Okay, anyways. Well, let's start with the author's note, beginning chapter 2. Well, chapter 2 is just called chapter 2, so they got kind of lazy, but... Okay, the harem will not have a main story pairing. If anything, only the demigoddess will be a...
What?
They just end it like that.
Sorry, the story won't have a main shipping pairing?
It will not have a main story pairing.
What does that mean? Like...
I don't know, man. Anyways, chapter 2, the vagabond known as Naruto.
Vagabond, what does that mean? You know,
well, he's like a wanderer, he's like a rogue.
Oh, I see. Alright.
I just read a line. Anyways. As Naruto and the D'Angelo's siblings walk away and out of sight, Percy looks at his friends. Hey, just for my own curiosity, what is the history with the guy? Also, that Dr. Thorne called him Crimson Archer? Asked the son of the sea god.
Well, we're getting a history game, so this will make things more clear.
His name is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze Pendragon. When I and Luke found Annie, we also found Naruto, Thalia said. Her face got red looking at his face. He was a cute kid back then, now he's hot. She said.
I don't think any person who's watched a kid being raised from their birth to adulthood would say that in general. Like, that just sounds really creepy. Also, so here's what I'm understanding, Gabe. Here's what I'm understanding. So, Artemis has like a rogue of hunters that go around, right? That are essentially displayed as underage kids, like she is displayed as. So I think Artemis sort of found across Naruto and became Archer, which is part of which is weird because the hunters, part of their mission is to never have men along them, right?
Well, that's the thing they pointed out in the first chapter, is that he's like,
right.
You know. Well, I guess that makes sense why Naruto's an archer, at least.
Yes.
Anyways.
But, like, I'm also a little bit confused, too, because that means, like, Thalia's been seen Naruto since he was a baby, perhaps? Is that what I'm getting from that sentence?
I guess so.
That doesn't make any sense, given what happened in the actual stories, but whatever.
Anyway, she said, feeling an electric spark going down her spine. He saved me from some giant spiders, Annabeth said with a shiver, and hit Luke in the face with a garbage can lid. Think he thought Luke was attacking her, Thalia said to her cousin. Did he went all Captain America or Shield Bash? Percy asked. Captain America, the two demigoddess said. Wow, so what happened to him not being at camp, he asked. When passing through an old train bridge over a river, we saw a Colchis bull. It happened so fast he ran out of arrows, then that bull charged at him somehow. He jumped on top of it and he steered it off the bridge and into the river. We thought he had died, Thalia said. The kit told me the rest. He was lucky that his ancestor, Susanoo, was fishing nearby. The fishing hook snagged onto his pants belt. The kit was then taken back his mortal grandparents, Karama said, now the size of a normal fox. Huh? Yeah, his mortal. Well, he's a pseudo demigod.
Well, I'm pretty sure demigods are mortal.
Well, I don't really know. Anyway, well, maybe it's just his grandparents that are mortal. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways.
Oh, like just regular mortals? Okay.
Yeah, regular mortal grandparents. Anyways, Karama said, now the size of a normal fox with two long tails that were wrapped and holding both Zoe and Mordred. He was on Artemis's right shoulder. Oh, that reminds me, in the future he might get a harem, not by trying to have... Sorry. That reminds me, in the future he might get a harem, not by trying, but having a kind heart. Also, I'm thinking your sister-in-law had something to do with that. He gave her a tragic love story about the backsmith Dang Jian and his wife Mo Yi. He just wanted to have a normal love life, but if she did, hopefully it with only girls that you approve. I am so confused. That is so poorly written.
Sorry,
I don't know.
Does that person know the future? How does she know that he's gonna get a harem? And that's just so strange. Or
I don't know. I don't know what.
Or was that the other person speaking?
That was Karama. That was the fox.
Okay, sure.
Well, anyways, Artemis doesn't like this because she says, "What?" said gabbing the fox demon by the throat. It a court order by law, and not just a law that is bound by their country, but by Uzumaki. Any Uzumaki male must have more than one wife? Are you fucking kidding me? What?
Yeah, apparently it's not just the law of the countries, but it's actually a law of a particular family, which for some reason has more precedence over, actual laws. It is.
Well, anyways, any Uzumaki male must have more than one wife. The one male from his family had killed their wife by accident. Sad too, really.
So you have to have a backup one? You just have a backup spare wife?
Yeah, well, of course, in case he accidentally killed
my wife. Whoopsies.
Oh my god.
Heaven forbid if Uzumaki wants to treasure, one person they love in their life. They have to have, keep them as, objects on the shelf that they need to replace if they get damaged.
Karama said as he gasped for air as she let go of his throat. Percy then saw a pamphlet on the ground. Is this school on the ocean? Percy said. It's more of a city than a school. Anyway, Master Naruto summoned me when he stumbled upon Kalia's secondary purpose, to stop Madman from destroying the world by any means. He transformed there to test their clubs. He was going for a walk. He then asked to stay and help, Mordred said. I remember that. Hey guy, watch Annie for me when I go for a walk, Thalia said, trying to imitate Naruto's voice. When we found him, we saw several dead monsters, or he came back with a trophy of war, Thalia said, trying to imitate Naruto's voice. Anyway, our job is to find and stop terrorists that are involved with the supernatural. When Naruto had heard of this, he joined. We're
What?
Team Beta. It was a joke made by one of the officers there to cause one of their older team of agents has an animal companion. There is Gudao, Mash, and Foe. I feel like this person just ends sentences before they're supposed to end. And they also don't have any, they'll go from one idea to another without any punctuation. So it's just so hard to follow what they're actually trying to say.
This is not great.
Whatever. Right now, Naruto is talking to those kids about Academy City as well as your camp, Kurama said. He also tells them about Artemis's offer, Kurama said, and looked at the goddess. So, what is my son to you, Fox? Artemis asked. A free meal ticket, as well as a student, for I know who he really is, a reincarnation of one of those two beings, Kurama said, thinking of one of his older brothers. Your student, what can you teach him? Zoe asked. Ninshu, the ancient and the origin of ninjutsu. The kid has chakra as well as mana. He is a sage, Kurama said. Wait, what? Shouted a surprised Grover. Oh, wait. My father's name is Otsutsuki Hagoromo. He made me and my 8 siblings. He was known as the Sage of the Sixth Pass. Naruto is the reincarnation of his younger son, Ashura. He also goes by Alkaid as well as Asura.
What the trash is going? This is way convoluted. what the trash? I'm so confused.
And then there's my older brother, is Indra and Dollhead. They also have Celestial Giant. It's the Big Bear and Little Bear constellation. And Indra's reincarnation, who we haven't fought yet, Kurama said.
I'm very lost.
The story is just a fucking disaster.
The story. This story has all backstory and no like plot.
It's just so convoluted. This is the most convoluted story I've ever fucking read. Well, it's not even the fact that it's convoluted, it's the convoluted on top of the fact that, like, they just end ideas and introduce ideas in the same sentence with no punctuation. So I have no idea what's supposed to be, like, a different idea and what's supposed to be a continuation. So it just makes no sense whatsoever. Ugh. Anyways. No, not that, Grove said. He a sage, I found a sage. The small group of demigods looked at a satyr who was smiling. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, Grover. You can talk about that to Naruto later. Okay, I need to ask a series topper about how is he your son? How is he your demigod? Dolly asked, looking at the virgin gods. When he was a baby, Naruto lost his family due to a plane crash. I had to save him by a blood adopting ritual, Artemis said. What? Annabeth yelled in shock. I'm guessing that bad, Percy asked. Yes, Percy. You'll have 1 out of 99% chance to live, and you won't get all the benefits, Annabeth said. You'll just be a monster bait, Kurama said. In short, and I know this sounds hurtful, a fake demigod. Not a real one. The kit can't even heal not a real one. The kit can't even heal like you all with what do you call it, ambrosia and nectar.
So in the Percy Jackson lore, demigods and gods can like devour nectar of the god or ambrosia to heal, essentially, like a healing potion. But mortals, I think it's like toxic or killing to them. So I'm assuming they're saying that he can't even. So is Naruto a fake demigod? That didn't make any sense. How could...
Yeah, that's what they're saying. He's a fake demigod.
So let me get this straight. From this, so Naruto's parents died in a plane crash, and so Artemis blood adopted him, making him into a demigod because that means that they're related. Because like mother son. Well, because he blood adopt. I'm so confused how you can adopt someone, not only just adopt them, but adopt them by blood. As in...
Well, what she did is she cut her thumb. She cut her thumb and fed it to Naruto, so he ate like her blood. So he has like part of a god inside of him. I think that's what.
Oh,
they
I thought they were trying to they were trying to like worm their way to try and say that like she somehow became his biological mother or something like that.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know. It's convoluted for no fucking reason. Anyways, I still love him, even if I didn't give birth to him, Artemis said. Look at her adopted son. Wait, Naruto's still here? Anyways, whatever. She then looked at the Knight of Treachery. So are you only a girl going after my son? I wish, sadly, Mordred said grumpily, making Zoe and Thalia surprisingly upset. Mordred took a look at Artemis, second in command, and smirked. Oh, what? This is Miss Nightshade. Mad she can't be is Uzumaki, Mordred teased. Is thou saying I'm infatuated with my lady's son? Zoe said with a red face. No, I'm just saying that he spends more time with me and some of the other girls he knows back at Chaldea, taunted Mordred. Zoe pulled out her dangers and tried to attack her, only to be blocked by Mordred's sword Clarent.
Why are they trying to combine Arthur with Percy with Naruto?
This is so fucking bad. After Naruto was done telling the D'Angelo's kids the gods' history in their lives, Naruto also gave Nico a Hades figure piece from a game he plays called Mytho Magic. What are you those two doing? Naruto said. He saw his partners and sister fighting, looking back at Bianca to see how she was handling everything. So let me get this whole thing straight. All of the gods are real, Bianca said. Really? We're addressing this fucking really basic concept? Whatever. Yes, Naruto said. Our father is the Lord of the Dead and Riches, she said, pointing to the figure. Yes, Naruto said. And there is a camp for use as well as a school for kids like us that is a man-made floating city-sized ship called Academy City, which is in front of Chaldea, she said. Yeah, well, one of many, so how are you holding up so far, Naruto said. So far, I think I'm asleep and dreaming. She then trailed off and blushed. She really likes you, Nico said. Nico, his sister yelled at her brother, looking at their... Okay, so you're the pseudo-demigod of Artemis, and a descendant of a Shinto god of the sea and storm, Susanoo. Mary's real name is Mordred, and is one of the heroic spirits that you summoned at your first Yor in Chaldea. And cute little Kuroma is your teacher, she said. Good lord, they're just spending this entire chapter trying to explain these extremely convoluted, like, character relationships.
Did you understand the part about the reincarnation? Because I didn't get that. I also am not fully sure what's going on.
Well, Naruto is a descendant of a Shinto god.
What's that?
Like a Shinto god, it's like Japan.
Okay.
One of the gods in Japan. Wait, so if he's a descendant of a Shinto god, wouldn't that just make him a demigod anyways?
Yes.
But he's a pseudo-demigod of Artemis, but a regular demigod of some random Shinto god. But still doesn't have all the benefits of being a regular demigod for some fucking reason. Whatever. Dude, whatever. This story is so fucking bad. Anyways. Yes, do you still need time to think about this, Naruto said. Our two options are a camp, as well as a massive school made for kids for powers like Esper, Magus, and demigods, Bianca said. But I have a third option with your mothers.
Bianca's alive? I'm so confused. Because I'm pretty sure Bianca came in the story after, Thalia came in the story after Bianca died, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Darn it. Okay, I'm genuinely lost. I think this is as far as I can get in this game. Because I'm supposed to read dialogue, right?
Oh, I see. Well... Alright to sneeze. Sneezing. Okay. I'm better.
It's so weird. It's like this weird limbo where, like, characters are there, but, like, they're not from their original... Like, the book has no influence over what's happening whatsoever. Just some things are borrowed from it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Bianca's alive. Thalia was, like, always a hunter or something? I'm so confused. I'm not even gonna get into the Japanese god thing, which confuses me even more.
Anyways, it's your choice, as well as with my mother's option, but Nico can't go with you, he said. But she took you in, she asked. She raised me until I started to notice girls, plus I was a baby when she found me after a plane crash and gave me her blood to heal me, Naruto said. What is the school like, Nico asked. I have a brochure or pamphlet, Naruto said, taking out the said item. Oh, it's just a brochure from some random thing. Alright. But if you want, we can see what the camp is like as well as Shaldia's when we have an open house, Naruto said, as he then walked back to the other. As they walked back, saw Kuroma holding Mordred and Zoe by his tails. Hello, Annabeth, Gromer, and Talia's. Wait, aren't you supposed to be a little older by now? Naruto said. Oh, sweet Kami, above all. For all the time you've called me Shorty, know who's short, ha ha ha, Naruto laughed. Shut up, Sharp, I'm still taller than you,
What's Sharp?
Talia said. It's supposed to be shrimp, but they just spelled it as Sharp.
I also have to point out briefly, meme pass 100. Sorry, that's what it says here on the screen.
Talia said, red face. No, trust I know my high, I'm a little taller than you, Naruto said, getting close, showing how tall he was. But you do look young, Talia, what's your secret, Naruto said. Pin tree soil, joked a smiling Annabeth. This got Talia to glare at Annabeth. Percy laughed at this as well as Naruto, who smiled. I hard what is going. I'm sorry I couldn't come back, Naruto asked. Don't blame yourself, Naruto. Luke, he turned traitor to the camp, Annabeth said. She then told him everything that has happened. Can you tell me everything that's happened? I don't know what's going on.
Actually, too.
Damn it! Ow! Naruto yelled, holding his head, when Zoe hit on the head. Watch thy language, she said.
So,
oh, I'm sorry,
ow? Oh, no, never mind.
No, Naruto said ow. He got hit on the head.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, sis, but the only guy that I saw as a cool older brother went all dark side, and I feel it was my fault, Naruto said.
Zoe? Zoe saying this?
I don't know. This is Naruto saying this.
Only character... What character went dark side?
I don't know. Maybe Luke? Because he turned traitor?
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know.
It is following by the plot of the books, but not really. I'm so... It doesn't make any sense. Like, if you're gonna borrow elements from the books and take some things and not, you're making it even more confusing. Like, what am I supposed to take from the books? Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't freaking know.
Naruto, don't blame yourself, Thalia said. Thalia, if I came back, I might have. Slap. Surprisingly, it was Percy who had slapped him. Okay, it's late, I'm tired, and I'm thinking we are all in agreement that blame yourself for Luke's decision, Percy said. But you're not the only one that blaming themselves. Annabeth and Pinecone face here also feeling bad. So when we find Luke, we can all beat the dark side out of him together, Percy said, getting a few looks. Wow, Jackson, that was almost mature, Thalia said. Ha, I think you're right. It's been some time since I had some sense slapped into me. But you seaweed, braid, name-calling, cut your mature point down. Okay, so everyone get out of the way, I'm cooking tonight, Naruto said as he pulled out a scroll, getting the old hunters to cheer and joy and the new ones to look at it with mixed feelings about it. Well as old friends to also cheer and joy. So the kid making dinner that nice, everyone looked to see a wearing pitch black suit. Artemis was pale at seeing this man as he looked over a lighter and a cigarette. Hello, Artemis, we need to talk, said the man, breathing out the smoke. Outside the hunter camps, on the treetop, a shadowy cloaked figure with a bow and arrow aiming at the campground. I'm sorry it had to come to this, said the figures, released a sword-like arrow. The moonlight shim on him showed he was in a futuristic red, white, and black armor and a fox-like helmet. As the broken arrow hit nearby Naruto, he then rushes towards the chaos to get his bait. Oh, great, okay. I think this is an author's note? FS comes walking and wearing a blue Hawaiian shirt and shin-high shorts with some slight sunburn and glasses. I'm back and sorry for the short chapter. Can't think of anything else to do at this point. Next chapter, painful wake-up call. The hunt of the foreigner Common Rider Forge. Also, should I mix Shaman King elements in here?
No,
and, like, bring
don't,
two,
please, no.
Like, bring two Billy the Kid, the Ghost, and the Heroic Spirit, as well as the dark version of the Heroic Spirits and more HS. Anyways, just got back from Cape Cod with one of my sisters who was freed that weekend. What? Freed that weekend? And mother went to the beach and saved someone's life who sadly did not see the drop-off part of the beach. Is this really necessary to talk about in your author's note? The first night we ate at an IHOP, second was the Cat Bat Tavern. I think it was called as well, a Flashback, which is a 90s themed restaurant. I had their beef bowl, loved it. At last night we went out local sports called Portside Tavern and I had a nice seafood dine. I'm thinking of making 2 more Percy Jackson fanfiction, another Titan Curse, but with a Ninetales Naruto, and a Sea of Monsters with somewhat SIOC as Son of Magic. That right isekai themes all around, like in another smartphone, as well as another isekai works. Oh wait, here's an omake. Omake, the day Olympus stood still, 13 years ago. All of 12 gods, as well as Hestia, was frozen and Zoe told them. Artemis is not coming cause her son will not sleep, Zeus said in a soulless tone. Nightshade, are you saying what I think you're saying? Apollo, the god of sun, said, yes, but there's something thou should know. Zoe said through an I am. Wahoo! I have a nephew, he yelled as he ran. Oh, I knew one of these days the poop sniffer finally lost her V card. What the fuck does that even mean? Ooh, I knew one of these days the poop sniffer finally lost her V card, a beautiful blonde woman said. Oi, ya old fart, let the girl speak, said a red tan-skinned kid with spiky blonde hair, red eyes, and elf-like ears, wearing Asian robes that belong to royalty. Who are you, said Hera, the goddess and the wife. I'm the king of the spirit realm, Enmadayo the Ninth. I'm here due to your dumbass of a husband who attacked one of my workers, Enma said. Artemis is not coming. He was then hit by a blue fireball that was the size of his fist that burned off his beard. What in the name of Tartarus, who are you? Zeus yelled. Someone who is not one of your fangirls, you old bastard of a storm fart, Enma said. This sucks. This dialogue sucks balls. You dear. Fuck off, you shot down a passenger airplane full of innocent people, cause it had a death god on the fly. You just made a stupid stereotype that Shimigamis do is kill people. Do you know what that does for us? So here you go, Enma said, giving him a piece of paper. So it was Zeus that shot down the airplane? That's what we're trying to say? What the fuck? What is this? Asked Zeus. A bill, because your actions caused several of our machines got overworked, causing them to be pulled out of order.
That's so sad.
Half of that bill is due to a back of the purifier, other than the shipment of the soul heading to your underworld. And if that kid that your daughter dies by your or your hag of a wife's hand, you don't want to know. Because of you, I'm up to my neck with non-stop paperwork, Enma shouted. I'm glad the gods have to pay bills. That's all I have to say. I think we should go now, Hermes said, getting up. I have my own paperwork to fill out. Yeah, me too, Poseidon said. Wait, Poseidon, you know what this paperwork thing is? At that point, Zeus knew he fucked up. Are you kidding me? Yelled the 3 gods. After that, Zeus had to be watched by Hera to make sure he'd finished the paperwork, which led to something else, something that Hera would never have thought of until talking with the teacher of the forbidden child. Hope you like this chapter. Well, that was terrible. That whole thing was awful.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
God.
I also don't know how to progress.
Well, man, Chapter 3 is really long. Chapter 3 is really, really long. So, let's, I don't know, do you want to change games or something?
What is going on? Am I starting a new game?
Do you want to start a new game? Because this chapter is going to be, like, really, really long. Anyways, this is, I guess, part 2 to Kamen Rider Avalon. This Naruto and Percy Jackson crossover. This is gonna be chapter 3, which is like twice as long as the first 2 chapters. It's called Chapter Avalon: The Dream of the Utopia. And I don't know about you, but how about we get into this? I guess.
This looks really bad.
Oh, great. Okay, I can't wait to see this when you're finished recording. Anyways. Oh, right. Okay, this starts with I think this is an author's note. It's really long. Anyways.
Oh, good. Alright.
Fox. Okay, so some of you want Ishtar in this story. Sorry, but I'm putting Rin and Sakura.
No.
Due to time booms, Shiro Emiya for this timeline was not born male, but
What?
yes, she would be from the prototype, still the same Saber. Speaking about Saber, I'm only going to let you guys pick 2 types of Saber faces. I'm already picking one out of the Lancers, Alter Artoria.
What is a
Why
Saber
my
face?
viewers? I think this is like he's trying to cross it over with other animes too. I just love her eyes and her hair, plus she's so beautiful and is a stoic cute when blushing. So which even Saber face you pick, you can pick 2. Leave a comment and reason why. Also, should I have Zelrich give Thalia some class cards? And before you say Berserker Hercules, no, I'm giving that card to Naruto for his use. What does class card mean? Whatever. Thalia's gonna get her Khalid Changer, one that doesn't talk, and some of the cards fragmented from the original Heroic Spirit will have the power to turn into their class cards as well, as other members of the harem will have their way using the class cards, and they will have their counterpart cards as well.
What the trash is
Oh, is this
class
like
cards?
is this like a weird like RPG card game system for the harem? Is that what's going on? Great, alright.
What the... What?
Naruto, so I get the Berserker version of my uncle, and wait, are you saying I get a driver too? Fox. No. Yes. Maybe. Shut up. I just thought it would be funny if there was an Emiya version of XX Foreigner type. Pendragon. And who said I have a driver? Thalia. So which heroic spirit do I get? Thalia was then tipped on the shoulder by Fran, who crowned her with a flower crown and gave Thalia her class card. Thalia. Thank you. Fran then gave her a hug. Install. The 2 then glowed white, as the die-down Thalia now was wearing Fran's wedding dress. She then looks at Naruto. Thalia. Darling. Thalia grabs Naruto in a fireman's carry and jumps away. Naruto. Someone helps me. I'm too young to get married. Thalia. We will have our wedding day. By the way, this is still the author's note. This isn't the story.
Oh, no.
Fox. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to make sure she does not break Naruto's hip. Fox then grabs a tranquilizer rifle gun and dresses as a safari hunter. Fox. Thalia. No, I'm getting married. Dodge a lightning blast. Today will not Fran and the other heroic spirits get Artemis approval. The harem will get Mordred, Rin, Sakura, Zoe, Shiroko, Altoria Lancer, Shelter Dark, Drew Tanaka, Luvia Galita, Medusa Lancer, and alter ego Pyrrha Nikos from Ruby. I have something for this. Yes, Fem Sasuke, Tomoe Gozen. As for the class cards, Naruto will be getting OC class cards from other parallel worlds. A writer, Oda Nobunaga from Nobunaga the Fool from another Berserker Azura from the game Azura's Wrath, as well as summon class cards. Okay, that's the author's note. Do you know what any of that said? Or no? Because I don't give a shit. I do not give a shit. Anyways, let's get to the actual story.
This game looks worse than a Sega Saturn game.
What are you playing?
It's like the DS, but it's like trying to be a 3D fighting game on the DS.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, anyways. Outside of the the hunter camp up on the treetops, a shadowy cloaked figure with a bow and arrow aiming at the campground. I'm sorry it had to come to this, said the figures, released the sword-like arrow. The moonlight shim on him shows he was in rustic, futuristic red, bronze, and black armor and a fox-like helmet on his waist. Oh, sorry, fox-like helmet. On his waist was a rustic orange driver with a lever on the right side. with a pentagram around his red-tinted bubble lens showing a golden star inside. As the broken arrow hit nearby Naruto, he then rushes toward the chaos to get his bait. Chapter 3. The painful wake-up call. The hunt for the Foreigner Forge Pendragon. Olympus. A man with bronze-tan skin, white hair, and has a pair of golden draconic eyes, wearing a white short-sleeve Hayori that is tied by an orange obi. Under the Hayori is a light-skinned black long-sleeve shirt, black hair and pants, pair of black armor toe boots, a face mask to cover his face, a red scarf around his neck. On his lower back was a European knight sword that looked like it belonged to a sultan of Persia. That doesn't make sense. A European knight sword that looked like it belonged to a sultan of Persia.
That makes sense, man. Go on.
As well as jewels-encrusted golden armor from Arabia, a red headband tied to the side of his head. The man looked like a mix between an emperor of Asia and Persia. He was sitting at one of the Olympian thrones of Artemis doing a Rubik's Cube while spinning a basketball.
Makes sense.
So the Olympians were just watching him. They feel had his power that of a dragon and a beast. He was doing a child act. Muckpoof. Might if I ask who are you? A gray-haired bearded man asked. Grandpa, I hurt you. I know it's been 10 years since you and Hiri, as well as everyone thought I had died, the older man said. But you can call me ruler. I'm a heroic spirit sent here by the fates themselves. This came as a shock to a blonde man wearing a UPS work uniform. I heard of your kind, but that means, oh no, the man said. What is it, Hermes? Questioned a black-haired woman. Really? Hermes is wearing a UPS work uniform? Well, that's really creative.
Well, he's
the messenger god, so he should be, delivering mail in like a van. Whatever. This guy right here, he's Artemis's camp, Naruto's tent, dream flashback. Naruto was at wait, what? So we're establishing the location as Naruto's tent, and then we immediately go to a flashback before we even establish ourselves in the tent, I guess. Naruto was outside an abandoned building, looking at 4 younger versions of Luke, Annabeth, Thalia, and himself sitting at a fireplace. Naruto was reading a book called The Kingdom of Avalon. Hey guys, do you think Avalon's real? Naruto said. Well, if Olympus is real, I guess it's also real. Oh, young King of Knights, Luke said, rubbing young Naruto's hair. But what if it's not? Naruto said. Then you just have to make one, Luke said. What?
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on.
Make Avalon, huh? Then can I ask you to help make it, Naruto? Naruto, Luke, help the dinner alive, yelled Annabeth from her spot. Oh shit, both boys. You let Thalia cook, Naruto said, getting up. My bad, Luke said. Laying down a very heavenly bandaged Naruto, the bandage is wrapped around his torso and his head. As he slowly regains his consciousness, he felt his head laying on something soft, as well as someone playing with his hair. He slowly opened his azure eyes and saw a beautiful young 19-year-old woman with long lavender hair, as well as her eyes were like diamonds behind a pair of eyeglasses that allows her to look at the one she loves the most with, as well as her friends, without the risk of turning them into stone. On her forehead was a snake-like rune. She's wearing a purple parka, black polo neck top, and blue jeans with black snow boots. Morning, Master. I'm glad you're awake, she said. Arg.
Who's Master?
Morning.
Sorry.
Huh?
What was that, Master?
Well, it's the Master, is the woman who's holding Naruto. Hey, Arg, morning, Rider. What happened last night? Asked Naruto as he tried to get up. When we got back, the place was wrecked, Kurama said, in his human form. He had red hair and red eyes. He was wearing a black suit and red tie. I leave for a few minutes and the camp was attacked, Kurama said. The curtain that is the door of the tent opened up, showing a teenage girl that is wearing a tight blue kimono that had a low cut showing off her cleavage, as well as being quite onward. But those two big gashes that ran down the side of her legs, it showed off even more. She had long, bright red hair and twin tails that made her somehow even more charming. Are those two fox ears on her head and a fox tail? Have eyes, golden yellow shins like the moon over Japan. She came in holding a cup that is full of hot venison stew. "Oh, darling, you're up," she shouted, placing the stew aside so she can hug Naruto. As Tamamo stopped hugging him, she offered him some of the stew. "Now say ah," she said. "I'll tell your mother you're awake," Kurama said, as she walked out of the tent. Kurama ran into Thalia, who had a case with Naruto's name on the side, and was playing with a topaz-colored pendant with a pentagram on the side, inside the gem. "Oh, I hope she didn't run into the crazy vampiric bastard," Kurama thought. "Hey, if you're thinking about the kid, he's fine," Kurama said. "But make sure he doesn't overdo it when you guys get to the camp," Kurama told her. "Thank you. Hey, does Naruto know a man named Kisher Zeldrick Schweinorg? The man gave me..."
Is that the technical term for that? Is that the mother given?
I don't know. I really don't know. "The man gave me as well as a case that's for whiskers," Thalia said. She then holds up the pendant. "He gave me this as well. Said that whiskers would tell me how to use this." "Oh, sweet honey iced tea with a side of horse apple pie," Kurama said. "Kurama," Artemis called out the fox demon. "Oh, thank you. Oh, beautiful titan who's the kit's adopted grandmother," Kurama thought. "How is he?" asked Artemis as she was walking up to the disguised fox demon. "The kid will be fine. He'll need some R&R as well as some foods, but I think you or Phoebe should tell him the bad news," Kurama said. "Zoe's alive, I know that much. That man wanted her alive," Phoebe told the fox. "That was a heroic spirit. Trust me, they all have to swallow their pride. Take one of Naruto's teachers in the sage art and runic arts, as well as the ways to spear, Chulane, Kurama said. "If the master ordered them to kill an orphanage full of kids with a smile on their face, they will be forced to do it. But that was a new guy, I haven't seen him before," Kurama said. He then walked away. "I have to make a phone call," Kurama said. "I have," Naruto said, looking pissed off. "I heard what happened. I'll be fine once we get Zoe back," Naruto said. "Naruto," Artemis looked at her son. "They may not share blood, but she saw him like her hunters." "What do you mean you saw him?" Phoebe asked her brother. "He's a foreigner class of the heroic spirits. I read about him in the He Chaldea archives. He is known as Forge. The only name I got from their notes was Pendragon, and nothing else," Naruto said. "But I know who he is, R will be, and know we can go and hunt the person. For all you know, he's 2 years old," Naruto giving his sister Phoebe a look. "What?" asked the shocked Phoebe. "The throne exists outside of time and space, meaning that time is irrelevant and linked to other worlds," he said. "I just hope she's okay. With Zoe. I'm surprised she's holding up so well," said a bald man in a suit. Next to him is a ghostly, pale-skinned young man with white and gained gray streaks. He has a scar going down his left eyes. "She is your daughter."
Can we have a character count in this story? Can we have a character count?
Are we up to about 500 million? Yeah, sure. "She is your daughter. Thanks to her Titan's blood, she's aging slowly," the man said on it.
Titan
on the back
blood?
was a...
Like the Titan... Okay.
Yes, of course, man. The man said on the back of his was a command crest of a nine-tailed fox. "No, Luke, she's not daughter," the man said. "I brought you all lunch. I made it, so eat it," said a man with tan skin, gold draconic eyes and snow-white hair, wearing a jinbei on his face and a black face mask. He's holding 2 plates of cooked fish and fried rice in one hand, and a blow of rice on the other. "Pendragon, are you planning on giving her that rice?" asked the bald man. "Yes, General Hardass, she's my responsibility. Plus Atlas, she had helped me a long time ago. Helped me all time ago," Pendragon said. "Also, I'm going to use her as live bait." She then gave them her food. "You're gonna kill Naruto, aren't you, Pendragon?" Luke said. What one more corpse for my body count? Pendragon told him. If I order you to talk his arms, Luke told him, holding his hand. Are you ordering or asking? Plus, if I ask you, talk to your father, would you? Pendragon said with a snarky in his tone. Can I ask?
Sorry.
Then can I ask? What?
I just got completely owned. Sorry, I just wanted to at least recognize that from the game. This is so, I'm so bad at this game. Alright, continue.
Okay. Are you ordering or asking? Plus, if I ask you to talk to his father, would you? Pendragon said with a snarky in his tone. Then can I ask of you not to kill him? Luke shouted. You say arms, okay, I'll take them both, Pendragon said, leaving the two. Well, everything's set soon. The great king will be alive with a new body, said a new voice. Oh, another character. Both Luke and the general, Luke and the general look towards a teen wearing a black sorcerer's robe. Oh, and what has our young magus has to show? The general asked. Well, I made a monster for your army by using a heroic speeder and a piece of the ship of the Argo. The teen said as he showed a dragonoid monster based off a Greek ship of the Argo with a golden Greek longsword. The monster wore a green sail as a tunic, gold armor, a pair of white wings, and chain tail feathers. As you see, I was able to use mud from the Grail and 2 items from the Argonaut Jason legend, the teen said. So you think you can use the mud from the Grail to revive Lord Kronos, Luke said. Yes, but not here. We need to find a place to set up his process for revival, as well to get used to his new body, the teen said. His revival process, well, takes a year and a half. He won't just be the king of the Titans, but a new life form, Fabeast. Ha 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 ha, the teen said with a madman laugh. Where do you find him? The general asked. It was Ethan. He found him covered in mud when he was in Japan on vacation. He also said we should have an eye on him, Luke said. Right. Right, now, the Titan said. Right, now go forth. Argonians head to Camp Half-Blood and kill Percy Jackson, the mad magus shouted. What did Percy Jackson have to do any of that? Whatever. God, we're not even like a fucking quarter of the way through this chapter. Good lord. Anyways.
Well, man. Continue.
Back at the Artemis camp. So, Zelrich gave you this and said you're it when 2 times come, Naruto said, looking at the panda. He was wearing a back parka, orange sweater, jeans, and black boots. Yes, he also gave me this to give you, Thalia said, giving Naruto the suitcase. He then opened it, showing what was in it. A letter, 2 card deck case, 1 yellow with Thalia's name, and an orange case and an orange belt buckle with a lever on the right and an ember bubble lens. Naru Boyo, something bad going down, so I made the Fate Driver Ember as the pendant that Thalia is wearing. Don't worry, they don't talk yet, read Naruto in an old man voice. I also asked your spirit girlfriends for your class cards.
Spirit girlfriends? Sorry, what?
Yeah, I asked your spirit girlfriends for their class cards. This is just great. Damn you old blood-sucking broad out of my mind vampiric bastard. Naruto yelled as he ripped right bracket. They were ready and waiting for their ride to Camp Half-Blood with everything packed. Naruto was sitting on a rock next to him, was his group, as well as an armor-red... fucking kidding me? Naruto was sitting on a rock. Next to him was his group, as well as an armor-red 2006 Hyundai Hummer H3 with some hidden costume features and 6 wheels. Fucking kidding me. Finally, the story's getting dumb again. So this is your car, Artemis asked.
So this is your car.
I made the engine ran on chakra, not gas, as well as on electric power.
So Naruto's like an expert magic engineer now.
Yeah, of course. They then head towards the other. Your uncle is late. He's always late. Sorry, he's always late. He made daylight savings time, Naruto said, and now back to normal. Just try not to look at Solo until it's parked, I said. How mad was he I ran, Naruto asked. He wasn't mad, he was heartbroken that you ran. He was mad at me, Artemis told her son. So we're going a ride from Apollo? Nico asked. Nico asked. Naruto and Artemis, who was frowning, the small boy had wrapped himself with a red blanket, still sleepy from all that had happened last night. Your mother doesn't look too happy on seeing him, Bianca said. But Naruto told me both his mother and uncle have a tough time with one another, Mordred told him. He was now wearing a red parka jacket, jean shorts over black leggings with shin-high boots. Morning, Mary, or is it Mordred? Bianca said, greeting one of her other best friends from her time at his school. You can still call him Mary. We are friends no matter what happens, Mordred said as she gave Bianca a hug. Then she whispers in her ear, plus hopefully you'll tell the dense head how you feel. This got Bianca to blush. Hey, big bro Naruto, why is Bianca blushing? Nico asked Naruto. That Nika is one of few mysteries. I don't know about the female mind, but I do know my grandfather's record with women. It might have to do something with me, Naruto said to Nico. Which one?
This is really cringy.
This story is horrible, dude. This is just so bad. Which one? Asked Percy, who was just finished packing up. Naruto smiled at that. The mortal one who has a harem and is my mother's father. Is there a reason I shouldn't see this man? Artemis asked. Half of it is a medical problem, as well that he's a nice guy, Naruto said.
Nice
Father
guy.
fell hard bad, Mordred said. Oh, here comes your uncle. Remember, don't look until he's fully parked, Artemis said to her son. One time, Naruto said. Parts? Nico questioned under his breath, his bemused puzzlement aroused. Look away now, Naruto warned as he saw the glinting flash, a blast of light, followed by a sudden burst of warmth filling the snow-covered clearing. His chaotic eyes could see the golden rocket of a car blurring towards them. He felt the younger boy twist into a scarlet blanket that cloaked him, looking into its depths as if trying to find the meaning of life, while the boy's sister just turned her neck to look over Naruto's shoulder, bringing her shoulder in contact with his own out of pure chance. Naruto frowned slightly at the contact, a sudden surge of something running through him. It felt strange but not unwelcome. A jolt of warmth that seemed to enter through his shoulder, dived down to his feet before riding to the top of his head, making his skin turn
Sorry.
Oh, what? Making his skin turn slightly pink, flushed with warm blood. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I beat the boss that I was stuck on for so long. It feels like a difficulty spike. I know I'm not that good at this game, but just, a little bit. Alright, continue. You have a lot to go through.
I will continue. Oh, right, we're like a third of the way through the story. Anyways. Naruto frowned slightly. Wait, okay, no, I already read that. Mordred, as well as the other, had covered their eyes as the flare of golden light and a wave of heat that was more suited to a furnace rather than be the path of the weather, melting the snow in a perfect circle around its origin. The sports car he had seen beyond the horizon was still radiating intense heat and steaming the frozen ground where it parked. Things truly were strange behind the mist. Little sister, the driving of the burning car called joyfully, smiling bright enough to rival his car, as he smoothly exited the vehicle, his casual jeans, loafer, and sleeveless shirt carelessly showing off his physical attributes. What's up? You don't call. You don't even write. I was getting worried. As he saw the slight scowl appear on his mother's face, Naruto could only think of the good memories of them both, like his archery. Apollo had arrived, as he spotted his adopted nephew. Oh, what's this? Well, look how has shown himself. Are you still going to run away again? Apollo asked, seeing Naruto look at him. You'll be taking everyone here back to the camp, and he'll stay here until we get back. Then he'll be grounded for a year for making all of us worry, Artemis said, holding his ear. Wait, throwing out his arms dramatically. He made the universal stop motion, as if commanding the world to halt what they were doing and listen with attentive ears. I feel a haiku coming on.
Oh no, in so many ways, both the game and also the haiku thing. Oh god, no.
He ignored the combined groans of his sister and her hunters. Philistines, a lot of them. They wouldn't know art if it danced in front of them wearing a cute green ballerina's outfit. Green grass breaks through snow. Artemis pleads for my help. I am so cool. He grinned widely, waiting for the applause that would come. It didn't. The clearing was silent for the... The clearing was silent as the occupants all looked at Apollo with either exasperation from his sister Artemis, deadpan from his hunters, confusion from Grover and Percy, bewilderment at Athena's daughter Adamith and his newest half-sister, and wasn't his stepmother still a bit pissed about that? A surprise from the two dark-haired siblings in the wild lawn that looks like his nephew, and his one's the only nephew from his sister. Naruto's right eyes was twitching. He also saw a redheaded man in a suit with two cute and beautiful girls in a Hummer driving away. Wow, tough room, he thought. He saw his sister about to sleep, but was interrupted by a different voice. Yo, Lord of the Sun, go get a better rhythm, cause he missed by one. His thoughts screeched
snap.
Oh yeah, he got owned, dude. His thoughts screeched to a halt, causing a veritable pileup at the expected interruption. He turned with a lifted eyebrow to the source of the melodic criticism.
I do kind of wonder, Gabe. I do kind of wonder. We have Adamasu, or whatever, the Japanese sun god, and then we also have Apollo. Like, who is actually the god of the sun? Who controls this? If we have two gods?
Well, if you remember back to Chapter 1, Apollo did hit on Amaterasu, and then Amaterasu did burn his ass in an ironic way.
Yeah,
so,
but, like, who is the sun god in this
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't care either, to be fair. The speaker grinned widely. What the fuck else? Okay. The speaker grinned widely, showing slightly longer and sharper canines than one would usually seen. It was a strange kid, dressed in clothing that had no business being worn in this weather. The silk leggings, sandals, and an open, thin vest. The one next to the now stunned siblings. The boy's chaotically crimson, whirling eyes, a definite sign of inhuman parentage. Glinted with humor and challenge as they stared down the sun god. Oh, the little brat hadn't. Burning through the skies, how could Apollo be late? Running from a date? The kid threw out the question, grinning even wider with a mocking little poem. He had. Well, he couldn't let that slide. Oh, really? We're doing this? How long? Oh, this goes on for a fucking while, too.
Oh,
great.
Good.
Strap in. We're getting a lot of stupid poems. Okay. Alright, we're just gonna have to read this. Where we are? Fucking... Alright, okay. If the kid had wanted to throw down, then he'd be glad to pick it up. Someone had to show the kid his place. No one beats the god of the arts, music, and poetry in a rap battle with haikus. Dude, fuck this story. Just fuck this story, dude.
Yeah,
this sucks.
Get into the rap battle, man.
Of course I am, dude. It only goes on for like the next third of the chapter. He ignored the slowly dawning horror on the face of his sister and threw back in kind. Right, you little punk, short and full of foxy spunk. Let me spin a truth. Smack me down, you think? How rancid is your stiff drink? Little kid, you're uncouth. He beamed at the spiky-haired nephew, whose features like an ape stood out to him. Something around the shape of the face and large teeth, tasting his victory already. Let him fire back at that. An eyebrow over a crimson eye was cocked. Wild, free, that I am. Rules and laws kicked to the can. Unchained to any fate. Sun is an old track. To, fro, same. So, punching cards. Rut dimming your light? Changing it up a bit, is he? Saying the sun god, a god of youth, was in a rut and not getting anywhere and implying he was boring as heck? Nice shot. Time to return to sender. Wild, I agree on. That breath of yours ain't that neat. Call you Stinky Pete. How about your hair? Looking like a carpet rare. Or maybe a bear? He chuckled to himself at the slight disturbed expression on the face of the others in the clearing.
Gosh,
looking too dazed to stoop... Huh? What?
Oh, it's fine, man. It's fine.
He chuckled to himself at the slightly disturbed expression on the face of the others in the clearing, looking too dazed to stop that little wordplay he was having with a now irritated nephew. Maybe you've taken it a bit too far? Nah. Your chase skirt's obscene. The god knows where you've been. Would you like some cream? Will it do too much? No. Aim it just like your aim with a bow. Falling short? Oh no! Apollo couldn't help but flush a little at that. Oh, now you just made it a persona, he thought. He couldn't help but pout at his sister as she looked like she was about to break out in laughter at the last exchange from the kid. Said it to hunters. Traitors. Short. Ain't that you, boy? Smaller than my little toe. You don't have a flow. Men rap loud and proud. You boys stay quiet and drown. In victory,
how do you get to this point? Is there a plot in this story?
Dude, no, we got more rap battle, dude!
But, like, what happened in plot-wise in this story to, like, justify the entire chapter being rap
know! The story's so
battles?
badly written, I don't fucking know. They were, like, waiting for a car to drive them somewhere, and I guess some guy just came out of fucking nowhere and started, like, insulting him in a rap battle. Dude, okay. Not to break immersion too much, but when I write my My Little Pony fanfiction, you know there's gonna be a random out-of-place rap battle now. You just know that has to be a part of my story. Anyways, let's keep going. He grinned. Take that kid out. No one beats the master. Crimson eyes narrowed at him with a single glare. That also had a degree of grudging respect before their owner spun another verse. You're blinding bright. From without, but not from within. Your head's a bit dim. If you want to win, quit steaming your brains too hot, serving solar stew. Apollo's eyebrows twitched violently. Good play, even he would admit to that. The giggles and guffaws he could hear from the hunters and Pop's newest half-blood in the Greek pantheon, anyway, were also just about busting a gut from their hearty laughter. Brats, a lot of them. Before he could respond he'd respond though. Enough! His sister barked out. Oh, thank God. Managed to bring her face to a semblance of her usually stoked demeanor. The childish bickering is unnecessary and pointless. Apollo pouted. His sisters, all of them, really knew how to ruin his fun, spoil sports. He started it, he pointed childishly, a finger jabbing towards a grinning and slightly abashed, spiky-haired kid. Artemis seemed to draw a large breath, looking to the sky as if to implore patience. Apollo paled slightly. That kind of look didn't end well for him. So your girls need a ride, he said abruptly, trying to avoid a frightening glare from his twin. No problem, I was about ready to hit the road. Grabbing his keys, he pressed the little button, exerting his will as he did so. With a set of electronic chirps and a flash of golden light, where there had been his burning hot Maserati Spider was now burning hot little shuttle bus. Not one of his more preferred options, but needs must when the devil drives. Though his model did have more space in the back. Cool, he heard the younger blanket-wrapped kid say, his dark eyes looking at the suddenly shifting vehicle in surprise and awe, making Apollo grin with pride. He loved showing off his baby. Demigods also need a ride, his sister said, looking her normal stoic self. Some of Chiron's campers, and can you give Naruto a checkup? Apollo then saw his nephew was looking back at the Hummer. They left without us, the blonde girl told Naruto. What? Kurama? Naruto shouted. So, little nephew, your mother told me to give you a checkup. And it looks like you need a ride too, Apollo said. It's nice to see you again, Uncle Apollo, Naruto said. Whack. Ow. Naruto shouted as Apollo hit Naruto's head with two of his fingers. That was for making us worry. Naruto flinched at hearing the tone of his uncle. Plus, heal some of your minor injuries, Apollo said, and now come on. Naruto and Mordred head towards the bus. Oh, come on now, darling. Once your mother comes back with Zoe, we can all have a nice chat with your grandparents. Artemis, me, with Zoe, Mordred told him. About what? He asked. Both Dahlia and Bianca looked at him with blushes on their faces. Oh, good lord. How much longer is this? This is still really long. Oh my fucking god. Oh, I don't know if I can do this, man. Okay, whatever. I'll push through. I'll fucking push through. You don't mind if I get a drink? You mind if I at least get a drink?
Yeah, man.
We'll just edit around this. You know what? We'll just edit around this. I'll be right back. Let's get on with it. Okay. As Naruto and Mordred got on the bus, Mordred sat with Thalia. Naruto took the driver's seat. As Apollo saw this, he blushed. What? So, you knew I was gonna let Thalia drive? Naruto's sunny uncle asked. Aren't I a good nephew that knows my beloved uncle so well? I mean, you also know me and my mom very well. I mean, if anything would happen to me on your watch as well as her hunters, how mad would she be? He asked a rhetorical question, making Apollo paler than a white snake man. Naruto in the past? What? Wait, that makes sense. Whatever. Right. Plus, it might be better if we use baby steps for Thalia, the Sun God said, handing over the key to Soul. Plus, I can ask where you've been all these years? Right. Well, before we start, no here, tell anyone who my adopted mother is if anyone asks. They just see that Lady Artemis wanted her hunters as well as the campers to watch a boy with a very dangerous ability to copy and make weapons out of thin air. Well, on that note, I guess to start, is that I'm a legacy of Susanoo, god of the sea and storms, Naruto told him as he started. You are the legacy to that god, shouted a shocked Apollo. Yeah, I think he saved when I fell in the river, who was on vacation and was fish at a nearby, Naruto said. So he saved you, Thalia said nervously as she saw how high they were. She then focuses on Naruto with a glare. And why didn't you come back to us, or at least write a letter to us? I tried, I wrote a ton of letters, the problem was sending it to all of you guys, Naruto said. He's not joking. I saw it after he write a letter, he put it in an envelope. I read one, and he put a lot of heart into it. Mordred said to Thalia. Really? Annabeth and Thalia said. Well, I read the ones he threw out. Mordred said, I mean, it was more like love. At this point, Naruto did a barrel roll. Luckily, everyone except Mordred was wearing their seatbelts.
What?
You're a massive dick, Mordred shouted.
Are they in a plane?
Yeah, they're in a flying bus.
Okay. Alright.
I have that for my mother's genes, thank you, Naruto said. Well, on that note, what happens after that? Gramps took me to be with my birth mother's family. Something big is going to happen in the future, he said. And we need to make sure that those Olympians' childs are still around. Gramps is many things, but he loves his family. And when Monk took me in, she became his adopted daughter-in-law by laws of adoption. Plus, he and Lord Poseidon are still old friends. Ready? Make a left turn here. So what happened afterwards? Asked Apollo. Well, you know how all of watched me what Mom took the hunters hunting, Naruto said? Do I? Hermes taught you how to read people. Athena taught you how to read both English, Old and New Greek. I taught Japanese if you ever wanted to go to Japan, as well as sword train. Ares taught you weapon training, then you learned something from Hephaestus. Apollo said. Remember the first time I found one of his abandoned workshops, Naruto said. October 10th, age 4, you and I went to pick out a toy, and I saw this nice working worker. You were hitting on her, I got bored and walked off, stepped outside, walked in next door. I remember your eyes were shining like stars. Hephaestus then came out and to see how walked in his junkyard. I remember that nice lady gave you a slap in the face, Naruto said. She was the first mortal woman that slapped me. The hunters laughed hearing that. Where should I park? Naruto asked his uncle as they were coming up to camp. Right here, Apollo said, not too far from the camp's gate. So what happened after that? I trained with my family, unlocked my chakra, as well as learning how to use magecraft from my godparents and my grandparents.
Why do they have chakra and magic?
I don't know, man. Naruto said, then on the first day of summer vacations in the city of Fuyaki, I was doing some house sitting with my friend of mine, Rin, and her sister Sakura. Well, me, cousin Shiroko, my grandparents and my godparents, everything was going fine until I saw a hole in the sky open up, and black cured mud dropped from the sky. I thought we were all gonna die when it covered everything like a tidal wave of mud. But I heard a voice, it was old and strong, powerful yet kind, like a grandfather seeing grandson for the first time. It had no form, but I thought it was Yahweh. We're bringing the Christian God into this? You fucking kidding me? Whatever.
Yahweh?
Naruto's Yahweh. Well, it's not the Christian God, it's technically the Jewish God. But they're the same thing, so I don't care.
Wow, don't care about religion?
Yeah, I'm
we
sorry.
offended every single one of our audience members. We were aiming for the heavily religious.
Of course, who else would read fan fiction? Who? Percy asked, looking confused on the name. The Big G, the one who made everything in the universe from the original Bible text, Apollo said. That's how the Bible's canon and Percy Jackson and Naruto crossover with whatever the fuck else.
I really do wonder, like, how all these gods that just overlap and seem to be redundant with each other function in
No,
one
dude.
universe.
It's even worse. It's
Okay.
even worse. It wasn't. His name was Fox Sky. He gave me from dying, but in return to work for him. Dude, you know who Fox Sky is? He's the author of the story. They made the author of the story God.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Well, he saved him from dying, but in return, me to work for him. Naruto said as he landed the bus. He told me that someone was making Singularity in the past, so he wanted me to fix it. He gave me 2 things, Mage Deck of Magic cards, the second a summoning contract for the Heroic Spirits, Throne of Heroes thing. Thing is, I could only summon females, Naruto said. They had all left the bus Apollo and made Soul turn back into his sports car form. Yeah, that was fun meeting my nephew, then facing an alternate version of my father, Mordred said.
What?
So Chaldea school, Bianca asked. Great. It is. It's linked to a school that's called the Academy City, and I was going there to learn. That demons came got involved me saving a girl who was having an out-of-body experience, so how I turned her younger. Then I went back in time to stop one massive time bomb. You see, Foxy, I'm just gonna call him Foxy from now on, whatever, told me he put a barrier over Fuyuki, but it wouldn't hold forever, and that once the barrier popped, goodbye humanity. Think about it, the mud was corrupting everything. The air stunk of death, the ground gave poison, the water was lava. The only way was to get the Greater Grail to fix it all, Naruto said. With the cards, I was able to install a heroic spirit within my body. Among the cards, Alcides in the Berserker class. Yet it's your brother, not his uncle, I used his name. Billy the Kid of the Archer class card. I attained more class cards from those classes, and other class like the rest of Knight class, Saber and Lancer from the Cavalry class, Caster, Rider, Assassin, even the extra classes, said Naruto. Then there was the crazy, stupid, random bullpie patties I deal with. My life was turned into a harem rom-com. Naruto ranted.
That's so
not
tragic, dude. Oh,
Naruto ranted, not paying attention around him as campers looked shocked that he was at him behind the barriers of the camp. Naruto? Called out a confused Phoebe. What, is there something wrong? Asked Naruto, as he looked at one of his older sisters and seeing Mordred touching the camp's protective barrier. Weird, it's JLo, she said. How is that possible? Grover asked. Mom's blood or my time traveling and installing with some of the Greco-Roman heroes, Naruto said. What was that about a harem rom-com? Asked one of his older sisters, Melissa. Yes, trust me. My life was like a roller coaster of crazy love drama, stopping a demon from destroying all of humanity, save the head of Chaldea from being killed, reverse her age at 9, she giving me a job, got a job from a god who I thinking has the same power of a primordial to stop the incineration of humanity. And just last year stopped the ice aging program called the Lost Belt, Naruto ranted again. Naruto then saw Kurama pulled up with his ride. And he, the fuzzball who stole my ride, Naruto said under his breath. As Kurama stepped out of his truck, Naruto's right eyebrow twitched to see the hood of the Hummer as it had a claw scratch. And its wind was cracked, as well as, who the fuck cares about all this? The earthy brownstone covered monster, an earth dragon with a club for a tail. It was dead, and its claw puncher marked on the back of the spark with bull horns and a hole on its nose. Great, one of the earth dragons, Naruto said. Wait, is that thing a real dragon, Percy? Asked as he pointed at the dragon. The rest of the group was shocked at seeing this. Like how animals have kids, so can monsters and beasts like these things, Naruto said. Also, I figured out the great prophecy of who the child was. He's not Greek, nor he for the West, but from the East. Child born out of time's reach, Naruto said. What? Asked Apollo. Nothing, let's just get going. Oh boy. Camp to infirmary. Apollo's eyes were twitching as he was reading his nephew in all-included blood. Okay, how are you even able to move, let alone be alive? He asked his nephew. Too stubborn, Naruto said. He was only in his boxers and a green gem pendant. Can't believe this young man with a six-pack and a body of an Olympic swimmer was the little fish cake Sis was afraid of losing to a pack of wolves. Now he looks like he can go against one of Aries' kids back in the day. Sis, the kid has to beat the girls off with a stick, thought Apollo. Okay, other than your neatest ending being cannibalism and still working and you're healthy. Good, Naruto said, as he put on his armored fishnet shirt, grabbed his pants and boots. Just you wait. I have to ask you a few questions, Apollo said. Oh great, he said, his long blue sleeve, white shirt. The first question is, do you have any illness or came in contact with anyone who has, like, bubonic plague, measles, chickenpox, etc.? Yes to the bubonic plague. Go over it. It was put in quarantine to build antibodies, Naruto said. Okay. Great. Second question, are you sexually active and may I have blood sample? Yes to both, Naruto said.
What is the context of this? What is the context of that question?
I don't know. I guess Apollo needs to, like, is like a doctor or something? Who knows? Whatever. Campground. As Naruto walked out of the infirmary, he saw Mordred on top of the mountain of Aries' kids' bodies. I see you're having fun, Naruto said. These guys are nothing like the ones in the past, Mordred told Naruto, as he stood up and stomped the Aries kid's arms. Ow, yelled the boy. Oh, walk it off, Mordred said as she walked down to each body-like steps belonging to the stairs of pain. And you're making friends, Naruto said, joking around. Your praise is not needed, but is appreciated, she said, playing along. Across from them, an Asian girl who looked like a year younger than Naruto. She's a beautiful and glamorous 14-year-old girl of Japanese descent with dark hair and ringlets, warm brown eyes, plenty of jewelry, and perfect makeup. She wears lots of eyeliner. She looks cute. That other blonde might be his girlfriend.
Oh my god, are we really trying to objectify a 14-year-old in this story?
Well, of course, man. Naruto then stood up straight. That smell. Naruto then said he sniffed the air. What smell? Asked Naruto. It's the stench of a perverted ego, self-love, twisted ambition of power, and seeing anyone below them.
It's kind of like he's talking about himself, like the author is like kind of like doing like a through the curtains description.
Well, man, the author is God in this universe, so obviously he can't be egocentric.
Gabe, yeah, if you have a God author like that, it kind of says something just a little bit.
It's this, just then, dark red energy came out of nowhere, blowing up the Poseidon's cabin. Everyone saw to see a draconic ship like a monster. Where are you, Percy Jackson? I'm Argonian of Phaebus, the soldier of Lord Kronos, the monster shouted. No. Mordred, where's Percy? Asked Naruto. He's with Annabeth and Thalia, Mordred told him. Good, go and find him. Naruto said he then raised both his index and middle fingers together. What happened? Shock. How did a monster get in there? Shouted out Percy Jackson, running up with Riptide. Argonian sees his target. Target raised his sword high and swung down, making an energy slash attack, jumping out of the way. Percy threw Riptide in his chest. We've got maybe a quarter left.
Okay.
Argonian saw this, blocked the blade of the sword. Argonian then made dark red energy balls and fire at Percy's feet. At the same time, up with the god of Olympus, Ruler was with Hestia making a cake while a phonograph was playing an old record disc of the Happy Birthday song. The gods were watching. The fight gold chains were holding down Poseidon by clones of Ruler. Oh, is Ruler... Ruler's the name of that one guy, evil guy. Okay, sorry. It's such a generic name. Whatever. As the smoke cleared, showing and bang up Naruto, Hao was smiling and holding the fate driver. I guess this is my fate, he said, as he felt the weight of the world in his neck. A happy ruler, smiling, remembering this day on the side of America. Forge was glaring, seeing what was happy holding in a pin Artemis. Your son is doomed to die following his dream. I'll watch over Zoe if you take her place, he said. Who are you? Argonian shouted. Oh, here we go. Play OST Bastard Instructors The Fool's World.
You better add that in.
I think it... I will add that in post. Alright, anyways. Oh, this is like a really like edgy thing. I am the one who defies fate, Naruto said as he places the driver wrapped around his waist. Meanwhile, overseas in the land of the rising sun, a few individuals, one group that knows Naruto, who growing up with a purple-haired red girl with red eyes, long red-haired girl emborizing archery club uniforms, as well as silver-haired girl in a ponytail and red eyes. Somewhere nearby, a long black-haired and two ponytails on the side girl wearing a red sweater coat and a black high school uniform. She was currently in the library with a white-winged gold star and a red magical stick. Oh my fucking god, she was with a gold twin, drilled blue eyes, and a long white-haired girl with red eyes in the same uniform all looked to the west. In a dojo in the mountains, a black-haired girl wearing Miko maiden clothing was meditating with a katana. She then opens her eyes and looks towards the energy she felt. It belonged to a boy she hatted as a love, Al-Qaeda. In other cities in Japan, in different worlds and time, a bunch of young and old men looked up and smiled. One was an old biker wearing a giant pelt at his waist. He was in a green jacket who was a rider in an old motorcycle theme after a grasshopper, to a young boy who was working at a bathhouse. In the future of 2021, inside a private jet plane, a young man going to college with 3 other teens was drinking a glass of orange juice from a wine glass. That's Ryder's birth had started today, the boy said, holding up a watch. Indeed, it is he who will defy fates and bring new order. He who will cut the thread of destiny, Waz says, reading a book covered in gears. On another plane, coming in from the far south, a boy older than Naruto looking at a silver driver with a blue lens and a sleeping lavender-haired girl with purple eyes and red-rimmed glasses petting a wolf-rabbit squirrel animal. The boy was holding a tarot card of the magician. Naruto, don't worry, we're coming, the boy said. The Naruto pulled the lever and placed the tarot card of the fool. The picture was him in an archer's attire with a small white dog in the driver's slot. He smiled as all eyes were on him. Naruto could only see a red string posing with his left arm and a knife. His legs spread apart. He pulled the lever as cut his thread of fate. Henshin, he led as he was covered in a rainbow of golden light. All of the campers who saw this were in awe, as statues of men and women, of knights, wielding swords, bows, and spears, mages, husbands, assassins with a skull mask, a human that was mid-transforming into a monster, a prisoner chained up in chains, a woman with a sword and scales in hand, alien-looking being, circle around him as the statue. The foolish child born from farms is destined to be king, all hail. Avalon, king of the new utopia, a voice said from the heavens. Shouted as the light down, Naruto was in a blue-hooded trench coat, covered in orange armor chest beats. Pauldron coming out of his back of the armor was a red scarf with golden design. Orange gauntlets, black gloves, under the armor and the trench coat he had a black armor bodysuit. Steel armor, black boots, and the hood covered his head, an orange fox-themed helmet with blue bug eyes that glowed in a silver fang mouthguard. Percy, Annabeth, Thalia, Grover, and Mordred and Phoebe looked in awe, as well as the 2 older men. One is a light brown-haired centaur with grass-green eyes wearing a dark brown men's suit coat, a red square vest, white shirt, a black tie. Next to him was a fat man with curly black hair and a beard, wearing a purple Hawaiian shirt with a leopard pattern. Camp Shorts. Argonian was scared. This can't be, it said in fear. Avalon summoned 2 blades from China, one white as the sun on a mountain. The other sword as black as a night with a red hexagon line all over the blades. Upon Olympus, the ruler's servant was writing on the blue and orange cake with chocolate icing, saying, when the song stopped, "Happy birthday, dear Avalon, happy birthday to you," said ruler. Avalon charged at the Fey Beast, slashing down its chest, cutting down the Kaijin sword. Avalon then kicked him in the chest, sanding it flying up in the air. Avalon put away his sword, took out a class card of Berserker, pulled the lever to open the slot. Please, a new card. Let's get wild. Install Berserker, archers, and casters, said Avalon. Avalon changed his orange being black armor and his trench coat. Lower half had silver armor plating. His gauntlets had become huge silver gauntlet meant for crushing. His helmet color changed to purple, the bug eye visor changed to lavender was the shape of a crescent
going
moon.
on,
The
Gabe?
color of his pants and a loin tail popped up. Dude, this is supposed to be like a really intense, edgy anime fight scene.
I thought
But
Avalon
it's
was
so-
a place.
Well, it's a person. I think it's Naruto. I think it's like a Naruto transformation or something like that.
What the trash?
Anyways, God, there's so much to this. I fucking hate this. Alright. Mystical magic Medea, heroic strength Alcatus, and swift speed Atlanta. Avalon Argo formation. Now, let's start, Avalon said as he punched the babies to its celiac plexus and knocking him into the camp's beach. Avalon ran towards Argonian, with speeds of matching the hunters of the goddess and the moon, and gave Argonian a lariat to the neck, making the monster off balance. Avalon then grabbed the monster-possessed Argo's arm and green sailcloth-like tunic, threw it to the monster through the air. Avalon's visor glowed as a purple magi circle appeared behind Argonian in the middle of a lake. Avalon then pulled the driver's level twice and summoning a black hook bow with a gold design and 2 arrows aimed above Argonian's head. Wait, that bow, it's belonged to her, Phoebus said. Noble phantasm breaker. Phoebus catastrophe, shouted Avalon as he let go of the 2 arrows that flew into the air and turned into multiple green energy arrows as they hit the monster. We already won. Bon voyage, ha ha ha, laughed the monster as he exploded. Avalon turned back to Naruto. Wait, no, Avalon's a separate person? Is he like a summon of Naruto? Who the fuck
I
cares?
am completely done with this game, so...
Oh, great. Okay, we still got a little bit left. I don't know how much longer this will be, but
No, I'm just done with this game. I'm like...
yeah.
Oh...
Anyways. Avalon turned back to Naruto, who was now on his hands and knees and was slowly blacking out, the bow fading into the air in golden. Above his head, a silver light of arrow and a bow and a hammer made of fire. Love you guys, mom to mom, dad, Naruto said. Naruto heard Thalia, Percy, Annabeth, and Mordred running to him. He smiled as he blacked out into the darkness. Mordred, help me get inside Artemis's cabin, Phoebe said. I'll go first and get the first aid kit, Percy said as he ran to the infirmary. Olympus. As you can see, the child of your prophecy was not you a child of the Big Six, but the Big Three in the Shinto, or in this case, the child of the prophecy is a legacy, Ruler said as he was eating a strawberry jam cake. But we're the 4 sons of Kronos. Shinto head gods Izanagi and Izanami have big 3 kids, them being Susanoo, Amaterasu, and Tsukuyomi. The young Naruto is the distant descendant of Susanoo. Killing him will just piss off Susanoo, so don't be stupid fucking idiots. Live and love. Ruler set his mask off, showing his whisker-marked face. And you bitch queen of Heave, try and kill Thalia. I will kill you where you stand. She lived a shitty life. She rises her brother when her mother was out and partying. I have half a mind to kill you, take your husband into Tartarus, and burn all Olympus down. Understand, Miss Snuff Fetish Queen? Naruto said, giving enough aura to make Ares stand down. I don't have smack Hera, was then backhanded by Hestia and was send a caching. Never lie, Hera, I know when you're lying. She then stomped on Hera's chest, cursing. Hera, a no-good liar. You said last time you would leave your husband's offspring allowed, so this time I remind you, no harm to the kids. Whatever. Rule watch as his master, was assigned to him, was slowly grinding Hera's chest. Now I hear you getting off on killing any more of Zeus's demigods, and getting off of it, I will kill you by burning you, understand? Why are they mad at each other? I'm not really sure what the conflict of this is.
I do not know what was going on. I was paying attention for the game a little bit. Because it was just...
I'm fucking reading this story and I have no idea what's going on. Artemis is gone, shouted Apollo, running in, looking scared, but then stopped. Hestia stopped harder. Stop fucking with my domain, you stupid bitch, she yelled. I'm not, Hera said in pain. Then stay in your room until you are call, Hestia said. Yes, big sister, Hera said, ranging into her room choir. Hestia, that was Hestia House Punch. She said, punching Zeus on the nose. You and Hera have been messing with my domain. Remember Perseus' mother? You turn her husband... Wait, what? Hold on. You and Hera have been messing with my domain. Remember Perseus' mother? You turn into her husband and rape her. Thalia had been Thalia had been more of a mother to Jason when he was a baby. Speaking about Jason, remember Medea Aphrodite? She glared at her love goddess. Oh no, she said. Wait, what about Artemis? Hermes questioned. What does this have to do with Hestia at all? Why is she mad? Whatever. Let's just not question it. This is almost over. This is so close to being done. Back to Naruto. In the big house table, Naruto with some minor injuries was now being fed by two girls. The first was Drew with a spoon in hand, full of rice, a beef, a short-stacked girl with elf ears. She has light blue short hair that has a braid, left bang, blue eyes, wearing black long-sleeve shirt and tan pants. This is Castor Medea with a piece of fish in hand by a pair of chopsticks. Naruto was being stared at by other campers. Naruto was looking at an upset Bianca and Thalia, who turned a pout at him. With them were Percy, Annabeth, and Nico. Mordred then came up with... I'm just taking a drink. Mordred then came up with Phoebe. We found the card and a piece of Argo. She said as she handed over the card, it was a saber card looking at a picture of the blonde man with green eyes. Jason, great, this shit's stained, he said, then ripped it in half. What do you do for that? Percy asked. Jason of the Argonauts in this world was much better than this clown. This card was more of a joke reward than anything, not like you would understand, Naruto said. Try me? The demigod of the sea asked. Imagine a pile of human waste came to life, Naruto said. Sounds like my stepfather, Percy said. Percy then took out a family photo and showed them his mother, a beautiful woman named Sally. But then next to him was a disgusting man who, if he was put next to a blobfish and with the world, would rather kiss. I think a blobfish would get more date than him. Your mother must have been a nun in a past life, Naruto said. Yeah, I think so too, Percy said. But now we have a big problem, Naruto said. I think I know what you're talking about. That thing never called itself Jason, Annabeth said. Not good, Percy said. Also, I know what that would mean. Jason was weak, heroic spirit, Medea said. He used us to get what he wanted, just like your whore of a mother, Medea shouted as she pointed. Wait, what did you say? Questioned Drew. In her timeline, Aphrodite used forced love spell on Medea, Naruto told her, as he grabbed the turkey leg. She then used her to kill her brother, and when Jason was done with her, he threw her away, Naruto said, sounding like and looking like a dead fish. That's why I hate Jason. From the throne of heroic, don't get me started on Perseus. The stuff I found on him from Lancer was different, but legends lie and history is made by victors, Naruto said, as he bit off the leg. Do you hate them? Phoebe asked. Hate who the Olympians, not different timeline than our own. If anything, it's disappointment, Naruto said. I will slap Gramps in the face for shooting down the airplane that I, as well as my parents were in, Naruto said. The occupants of the table looked scared. They all looked up, but nothing happened. What, it's a slap, not a punch or a slash with one of my many blades, Naruto said. Plus, I don't see the gods with respect or fear of them, Naruto said as he drank some tea. I lost all respect due to their counterparts, Naruto said. Also, Drew, why are you feeding me? Naruto asked. Well, how can I repay you for saving me all those years ago? Drew said with a blush. What? Naruto said. Oh god. Okay, we're almost done. We're so close. With the general. That monster you made fail, Atlas said, as grabbed the magus by force, grabbed the magus hood of Rob's went down. He was supposed to. You think I'll send a powerful monster? Said the magus. His face was sickly pale. His hair was white and looks like seaweed. He was bronze heroic spirit. The problem is that gold heroic spirit has a strong will, the boy said. So the Argo monster is a bronze, had a weak will, Luke said, looking better than he did before. The boy then took out a book filled with cards. Some silver cards can be swayed to your side, but have a real hard part is the gold ones. Before my time is done, this world, we remember, I, Shinji Mato, I'm the one that helped brought the Olympus to their knees. Ha ha ha. Shinji laughed. This guy is nuts, Luke Van, as he walked away. And where are you going? Atlas said. Going for air, Luke said. He told Atlas as he passed the now chained moon goddess. Is Naruto your real son? He asked. I found him when he was a baby in a plane crash, Artemis said. We should get going, Luke, Forge said with a tied and gang Zoe on her shoulder. Oh, Lady Artemis, what would you do if Zoe here had feelings towards Naruto? Zoe's eyes widen up when she heard the words came out of Artemis's mouth.
You okay,
At
man?
the end of this chapter, hope you love this. Yes, I use Avalon as Naruto rider name, plus OOO's Power System 1 combos. She'll just be super hungry. Alright, Canon Omake, the hunts versus the camps and capture the flag snowball fight massacre. This is the last of it. Phoebe was scared not because she had failed her goddess of the fact that Zoe was kidnapped. No, she was scared that this year, capture the flag, she was facing her evil genius of a brother. All of her sisters of the hunt were all killed by him, and buried by the white frozen death. She was the only one left standing. Naruto was on top of a castle that is made out of snow next to him, where catapults were full of snowballs. I guess this is my fault for all the time I pick on him after beating him in snowball fights, she thought. Well, sister, you are the only one left standing, and so with this I say, get wrecked, Naruto said as he pulled a rope, unleashing a valley of snowballs. The last thing Phoebe heard was Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture. As each white ball was frozen, death stuck her as she tried to run away. Oh shit, oh fuck, oh shit, oh fuck, Phoebe yelled. Well, at least no cannon, she thought. Fire the snow cannons, Naruto said. You got it, boss, a clone said, as it brought of cannons to the window. What happened to the sweet boy, Phoebe said. To those that were watching this, holy cow, scared Mr. D said as he dropped his can of Diet Coke, as he's watching as Phoebe was buried in snow and waving a white flag. End of Omaki. Thank fucking god that story's over. How fucking long did that singular chapter take? Like an hour?
Alright. Hello everyone. Sorry about the aspect ratio. This is time for the Wall of Shame checklist for the fanfiction we just read. Immediate thoughts.
Let's do it, baby. On the story?
Yeah, immediate thoughts.
Terrible. It was a horrible story. It's barely fucking readable. That's my thoughts on the story. What about you?
That story was very, very confusing. It brought so many different ideas without having anyone. It felt more like the entire story was an explanation of the backstory rather than an actual plot going on. And I feel like Naruto was everything. Just in general. He was very much a Mary Sue type of character. Maybe he wasn't, though. Maybe I wasn't paying attention enough. Alright, title, and so what's the title of this story?
It's Common Writer Avalon.
Common Writer? And the description?
Summary inside Naruto harem.
I'm not going to give it the point there. That's confusing to me. I'm not sure what that is.
You are gonna give it the point or no?
They have little... You know what? They have little connection. I don't understand the connection between...
I'm not really sure what a common writer is.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know there was a character named Avalon, but I'm not really sure what his like point or function was. So.
The title is literally, I don't know what the connection with the story even. So you know, there we go. The word count is much longer than the premises title description suggests. You know,
well, it is 14,000 words.
It's 14,000 words, but the thing is it doesn't really have anything going on at all. Like I would assume it would be pretty long, but I don't know what it is. So
yeah, it's just I wouldn't give it the point.
I'm just gonna skip here. Okay, grammar and spelling is unacceptable.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, it's better we can put more for that one. Minor formatting issues. I would put
major
formatting issues.
I would put major formatting issues because this person doesn't know how to punctuate anything.
I'm gonna give it both major and minor. Because it does
All
do
right.
things like block text and script. It's pretty much the worst. No, I'm not sure block text, but it did have a lot of script stuff from what I'm understanding. Maybe not.
I don't know. It's not horribly formatted. It's more just like the fucking. It's just really hard to read.
Minor formatting issues?
I
Incorrect,
would
strange, or confusing?
I would put minor formatting issues.
I
It's
see.
just very. It's just excessive. It's excessive. But it's not
Authors-
like it's like. Yeah.
Author's notes are irrelevant, intrusive, excessive.
I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say so.
You did mention during one part that why is he putting this in the author's notes?
There's the beginning author's note for the third chapter is really long for no reason and also makes no sense. If you want to count that, go ahead, but I wouldn't count it personally.
Okay. Is there any perspective changes?
No.
Redundancies.
Yeah, there is a lot of redundancies. They explain like the backstory of Naruto like 5 times throughout the whole story. It is pretty excessive.
Is there attempted humor?
Yeah, there is some attempted humor.
Wow, alright. Is it pretentious? I'm putting it on there. There's poems, Gabe. There's freaking poems. We're putting
There
it
is
in
poems. I would say this person thinks he's probably a much better writer than he actually is.
There. Well, given the fact that
Because I think he's trying to be like really high concept with like tons of characters and like tons of different backstories, but he just completely fails at it. So I don't know if it's pretentious, but he definitely overestimates his own abilities.
well, that basically is what I kind of put here. For author notably thinks highly of their work / self, or attempts intelligent wording / formatting / concept without ability. So exactly what you described.
Okay, then I'd put that.
I'm not sure, like, if that's not pretentious. What is pretentious then for writing?
Pretentious. Yeah, I guess pretentious would just mean like you think you're like
Yeah, that's okay.
more like morally like better than you are, you know?
I'm gonna say pretentious by definition, I guess. I have to. Author blatantly retcons characters to satisfy their interests.
Kind of.
Naruto's completely retconned in every single way.
Yes, he kind of is. But the thing is, I don't know much about Naruto to begin with, so I don't really know like what they changed. I assume a lot of things.
I can't recall a single thing that's actually relevant to Naruto in that story, actually. Is there another Naruto character in there?
They might have passively mentioned a few.
I'm gonna say
But they aren't like
hijacking
major
franchise. Characters and elements are used, but everything else is abandoned.
Yeah, that's fair. I would agree with that, to be honest. Character franchise derail?
See, I don't know. The premise of the story is noticeably flawed and awful. I don't know what the premise is, but it sounds pretty awful. Like,
It's
Artemis finds
Naruto. And Naruto's like...
Well, how about the fact that Zeus destroyed the plane Naruto's parents are on, so Artemis like made like blood adopted, which makes no sense whatsoever. Is extremely contrived in itself.
Oh right, that whole thing where he's like a pseudo. Okay, he's a pseudo demigod who's also the descendant of a Japanese god. But
yeah, I'm gonna actually put this under noticeably flawed and awful.
Yeah,
I'm also just generally confused. You know what? I am going to say blatantly wreck his characters, because they're literally taking Naruto just to make a generic harem fic. Completely not caring about Naruto whatsoever.
yeah. This is yeah.
I'm gonna put all
let's
of them.
see.
I'm gonna put a blatantly retcons characters. It really does.
Wait, where are we?
Even the Artemis stuff, characters in franchise derail. I would say so.
Yeah.
Especially given Percy Jackson, I don't know what the heck's going on. Like, Bianca's still
Yeah.
alive. Thalia knew Percy Jackson since he was a kid or something like that? Does it make any sense?
I don't know.
The story
Dude,
is really confusing.
Don't ask me to give up the specifics.
Now,
I don't
here's
know
a
what
really
happened.
difficult question, Gabe. Noticeably no plot or conflict.
No. I think there was a plot, and there was a conflict.
Is it stupid?
Is it stupid?
Forced or stupid?
I would say yes, but only because. But I'm not entirely sure. Like, I'm not 100% sure on like what exactly the conflict was. You know, like I know there was a conflict. Like there was definitely shit happening.
Stuff was
I'm
happening,
just not
but it
really
was extremely
sure.
dumb.
It was just extremely dumb, poorly explained, poorly written. So I had no idea what was going on.
Alien poor motivations and explanations.
I would do that. Yeah.
Out of place, strange or stupid use of audience interaction. No.
Oh, the author being a god, and also that awful fucking author's note at the beginning of chapter 3. Yes.
Was he interacting with the author? The
Oh,
audience?
okay, sorry. No, it wasn't with the audience.
Many uses of OP stupid powers. I don't think there was.
Yes.
There was.
There was. At the end of chapter 3, yeah, Naruto becomes like a god or something like that, or he summons a god, and then he like blacks out.
Oh, that's terrible. That's so generic. I don't think there's gamer statistics.
No, it's kind of like almost. It's like halfway to gamer statistics. Awful concept shipping. I don't think so.
See, the problem I have here is, no, never mind. Terrible implications. Oh god, there's probably so many. But I just don't know.
Me too. I hate, dude.
You know what?
The thing about the story is that it's like
I really hate the way he described that 14-year-old. That was really kind of creepy to me.
Do you want to just add it anyways on like a probably?
Yeah. Yeah. Self-insert.
Yes, there is.
God.
He's a god, remember?
I don't think there's any OCs.
I don't think there's any OCs.
Major character.
No. No.
Mary Sue.
Oh, do you think Naruto's a Gary Stu or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, he sort of comes out of nowhere and he's like, by the way. Well, he comes out of, like, from a like an outside point of view, they insert him outside the franchise into Percy Jackson and just make it so that the entire world just revolves around him and his harem.
Mm-hmm.
It's so problematic, dude, that his life was turned into a harem rom-com. I don't.
Yeah,
think
man,
that...
he's so mad at the rant.
I think harem and rom-com are exclusive. Also, if the Uzumaki family is like has to be polygamous, I'm confused about like why they never mention Naruto's other parents.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I really don't know.
Unnecessary weird. No fetishy stuff.
No.
So
incest scenes. No, kind of.
Well, I think Artemis. I think he has like a blood adoption with Artemis, which automatically means he's related, because otherwise he wouldn't be a demigod for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Artemis's sisters is more like a group, right? I'm pretty sure, like, when you get inducted into... You promise not to be with boys, and you live forever, and you just follow Artemis around. That's what I got. Basic premise. I think it's like a
Yeah.
sistership, not like a blood relation thing. I do not understand the. I'm not gonna put it in. I just don't understand.
Yeah. Non-consensual? No. No bestiality.
Well, there was that one suggestion of rape.
Right, but that was a reference to another story. I don't know.
That was another story.
Yeah, it was a reference to like Greek mythology.
Oh, I see.
So.
Okay, so that makes it fine. God, do people ever like just stop and think, huh, Greek mythology really was kind of degenerate?
Dude, we need to put Greek mythology on our wall of shame checklist to see how degenerate it is.
Like we have the classic, the marrying the mother, killing the father,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's bestiality somewhere in Greek mythology. There's like only incest.
Yeah. Oh, there is bestiality in Greek mythology.
What?
With the Minotaur? The bull? Minos? No?
I don't think I know one actually.
Yeah. It's basically, yeah.
Slavery? Was there slavery?
I don't think there was slavery. Where are we at? Disgusting? No. It isn't a very degenerate fan fiction, is it?
No, it's not. It has a lot of conceptually, like what they did to the story, but not a lot of stuff happens in the story, really. You know what? We should probably add on this thing something about song lyrics and singing.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. I'm just kind of going through.
You know what? I'm going to add another point to the end of this. Just imaginary, because I'm going to add song lyrics, singing, rapping, poetry as another tag containing it. Because I feel like that should be. Yeah. Alright. Characters in story ignore or encourage something blatantly wrong, so that's stupid taboo.
I don't think so.
Everyone is extremely pushy about Naruto being in a harem. Not even just Naruto himself.
I guess so.
God, what was that line about, like, when we saw him as like a baby, he was a cute baby, but when he grew up, he became hot.
Oh yeah, he was like a hot man. Yeah, that one. Ugh.
The thing had been renamed.
Oh well, yeah, of course, Naruto. He's like Uzumaki, Pendragon, Namikaze, whatever.
Alright. General angst.
Their angst? It's more like really like edgy, like anime stuff.
Is there a character?
Is there gender bender? I feel like there's gender bender in this story. I feel like there's gender bending in this story.
Explain.
There was a character that they said that was like...
Turn into the girl.
Maybe not, dude. Maybe. I don't know. Dude, I can't remember. We'll leave it off for now, but I literally can't remember. There's a lot of characters I hate.
I
hate Naruto, dude. I hate the rap battle Apollo.
That sucks. Yeah, no, I'm putting that on there. Like, I hate Naruto. Like, oh, it sucks. My life was turned into a rom-com.
Yeah.
God. Ugh. Terrible written shipping.
Yes.
Harem.
Yes. Elfin Circus harem? No.
Confusing story.
Check that like a fucking 1,000 times. Yes.
Was it overwritten? You know what? I'll say so.
I will say it fucking is. Yes.
Full of random nonsense. I mean, the random rap battle in the middle kind of checks it off, but regardless of the rest of it.
Yeah.
Full of factually incorrect statements. Not really.
I don't really know, honestly.
Alright, how's the thumbnail? I'm supposed you can probably edit the thumbnail in this video somewhere so people can see.
It's Naruto sitting, and there's like this six-handed god guy above him. It's not really that.
Low tier. Yeah.
Yeah, low tier.
The
The title, Common Writer Avalon,
That's not even
kind of low tier.
low tier. Description, low tier.
It's pretty high tier, dude.
What?
Summary inside Naruto harem.
I'll do mid tier.
Gives like that's mid tier at least.
Is the story funny?
No, it's not
No,
funny.
it's not funny. I'm gonna say that too. How memorable is it?
I want to say mid tier.
You want to say mid
I
tier?
want to say mid tier
I'm
because I'll
leaning towards
remember the
low
story.
tier, actually.
Because I feel like I'll remember the story, but not for any like specific parts of it. I just remember how like badly written this story
Well,
is. You know,
Here's something.
like this is like gonna be
here's
like one of my
something to know.
go-tos for like.
Here's something to note, Gabe. How many memorable lines can you think of it from? Because it's a pretty good indicator of memorability. I do.
Yeah, I wouldn't remembering specific things from it. I guess I'd rate it pretty low because it's just fucking hard to like remember. Like, it's just so badly written. Like I couldn't even understand things the first time. Like, I'm never gonna remember it. Anyways,
Well,
you
you're
know?
not gonna remember the line about like when he was a kid, he was just cute, but now that he's a grown man, he's hot.
I mean that line's pretty. That line's pretty bad. I mean, I think there was some like pretty bad lines kind of early on, but.
What started the rap battle? What started the rap battle, Gabe?
So Apollo wanted to do a haiku, and then some random guy out of nowhere just appears and starts like, and gives him like a poem back at him, and then they just go back and forth. Like literally, it's just some random guy who's never been introduced and just comes out of nowhere.
This is kind of like a little kid's dream, in the sense where things just go everywhere. And it's about everything that they love. Memorability, mid-tier, low-tier game. What is your final consensus?
On the story as a whole?
And the story as a whole. Events that happen in it, the story itself, the lines in it.
It's shit.
Overall.
I never want to read it again. It's fucking garbage.
So that's pretty unmemorable then.
Yes.
Okay. So 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1. And we're adding another one because I'm going to add another category for that. Great. So in total, we have gotten 37.
That's not bad. That's actually not bad. That's only that's 2 points less than Demon of Death, the Crash Bandicoot one.
Yeah. Alright. Cool. 37.
Well, I guess I'll see you guys next time we decide to read a horrible fan fiction, and hopefully this one won't make me want to kill myself.